What if? What if I told you there was an island? A real island with a name, with coordinates sitting on Google Maps, on government nautical cards, in scientific papers. An island size of Manhattan, a real size of New York, Manhattan. And then in 2012, a group of scientists sailed directly to it. You see a video, they sailed directly to it and found nothing, absolutely nothing. Just ocean, 4,400 meters of deep, empty ocean, like empty. There was this island, but they found nothing. No island, no rocks, no sandbag, nothing. So how does an entire island just disappear? Meet Sandy Island. Yes, the island is called Sandy Island. This island is located in the South Pacific Ocean between Australia and New Caledonia, a French territory sitting northeast of Australia. Now, when I say this island was on maps, I don't mean one or two obscure charts. I mean everywhere. This island is shown in everywhere. Google Maps showed it, Google Earth showed it, NASA's World Map database showed it, official nautical cards used by ships and governments showed it. The World Water Dataset, the most widely used geographic database on the entire internet, showed it. Scientists reference it in peer-reviewed research papers. Oceanographers include in their studies. It had a name, Sandy Island. Officially, it is called by Sandy Islands. It had exact GPS coordinates. It even had a color on satellite imagery, a dark landmass surrounded by what appeared to be shallow reef waters. So let's back to what happened. In November 2012, a team of Australian scientists aboard the research vessel Southern Surveyor were on a routine geological expedition near New Caledonia. Their mission had nothing to do with Sandy Island. They were studying tectonic plate movements in the Coral Sea. But their route took them directly past Sandy Island's coordinates. And one of the lead researchers, her name is Dr. Maria. Yes, Dr. Maria Saturn from the University of Sydney. Something stage. According to every map they had, they should have been sailing right next to a large island. A large island, you know what large island called? Sandy Island. But when they look out of the window, there was nothing. They shocked though, because in the coordinates, according to every map, they had to be crossing a large island, but there was nothing, just open endless ocean. So they did what any scientist would do. They checked their instruments, their ship's sonar, with both sound signals of the ocean floor to measure depth, gave them a reading 1,400 meters. That's almost a mile of deep ocean water, exactly where a Manhattan-sized island was supposed to be sitting on the surface, disappeared. Dr. Saturn, shocked, and later he told reporters he was completely puzzled. The island was on their maps. It was on Google Earth. They had simply assumed it was there. They sailed directly through Sandy Island and reported it to the world. The Southern Surveyors. This is a side fact. The Southern Surveyors was actually one of Australia's most advanced research vessels at the time, equipped with some of the most sonar technology available. If anything could find an underwater landmass, it was this ship, and it found nothing. So they absolutely shocked, and they don't know what happened to coordinates. Within weeks of the report, Google quietly deleted Sandy Island from Google Maps and Google Earth. Google know what will happen. This was the fake. I don't know what happened, but Google quietly deleted Sandy Island from Google Maps. Official medical charts were updated. The World Water Dataset removed it. No press conference, no official explanation, no apology. Sandy Island was just gone. Nothing. Most people don't know about this Sandy Island, but Google quietly say that Sandy Island was just gone. No press conference, just as I say. I know everyone had the question in mind, how does this even happen? Now, now you're probably thinking, how does an island that doesn't exist and end up on every single map on the planet? Let's go back to the history. The answer goes back to the 1800s. But to understand it fully, you need to understand how maps were actually made back then. Today we have satellites. You must have been known. It's just 2026. We have satellites, we have GPS, we have aerial photography, we have sonar. We can verify every single inch of this planet from space. But in 18th century, none of that existed. Map makers in the 1800s had one source of information: sailors. When a ship returned from a voyage, the captain would file an official log documenting everything they saw, everything they encountered, every landmark, every island, every reef, every shore. And the best thing is, unfortunately, people believed it. And map makers would take those logs and draw them onto charts. No verification, no second opinion, no cross-referencing. If a captain said he saw an island, it went on the map. Just as I said, no verification. In 1876, a British whaling ship called the Velocity. Yes, the ship called the Velocity was sailing through the South Pacific Ocean. Whaling ship in the 1800s spent months, sometimes years, at sea. Their crews were exhausted, their instruments were basic, their navigation relied on stars, compass, and handwritten logs. Somewhere near the coordinates that would later become Sandy Island, the crew of the Velocity reported seeing what they described as a sandy shoal. A sandy shoal is a shallow. I explain you what is a sandy shoal. A sandy shoal is a shallow, sandy area just beneath the surface of the water. In certain lightning conditions, especially at dawn or dusk, a shoal can look like a low-lying island from a distance. They logged it, gave it a rough location, and sailed on. Nobody went closer to verify. Nobody dropped anchor to investigate. They saw something that looked like land. They wrote it down and they moved on. That was enough. That was not enough for them. But that one report from the Velocity got added to one official British Admiralty chart. The British Admiralty, the naval authority of the British Empire, was responsible for producing the most widely used nautical charts in the world at that time. When something appeared on British Admiralty chart, the entire world trusted it. So the makers referenced the chart and copied it onto their own maps. Then government used those maps to produce their own official charts. Then those charts got referenced by scientists. Then in the digital age, someone took all those old paper charts and manually digitized them into computer database. And Sandy Island came with them. Nobody stopped at any point in that 130-year chain and said, wait, has anyone actually gone to check what if this island exists? Nobody. This actually has a well-documented problem in cartography called cascading error. One mistake enters a trusted source. That trusted source gets copied by another trusted source, which gets copied by another. Each time it gets copied again and again and again. It gains more credibility because now multiple sources agree. By the time anyone thinks to question it, the mistake has been confirmed by so many sources that questioning it seems absurd. Sandy Island is the perfect example of cascading error at the global scale. Phantom Islands. Here what most people don't know, Sandy Island is not unique. Throughout history, hundreds of so-called phantom islands have appeared on official maps. Islands that either never existed or were misidentified natural features. Take Bermeja. The island appeared on maximum maps. I don't know what the pronunciation is, but Bermeja. It sat in the Gulf of Mexico and was actually used by the Mexican government to legally define their maritime borders under international law. Then in 2009, when Mexico was in a legal dispute with the United States over Gulf of Mexico oil rights, the government sent a survey team to formally document Bermeja's location. The team found open ocean. The Mexican Senate launched an official investigation. Some politicians publicly accused the CIA of physically destroying the island using underwater explosives to shift the maritime border and give American oil companies access to billions of dollars worth of offshore reserves. No conclusion was ever officially reached. Bermuda simply doesn't exist and nobody knows why it was ever on the map. Under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, any country that owns an island can claim up to 200 nautical miles of surrounding ocean as their exclusive economic zone. Then there's Isola Julia. In July 1831, an underwater volcanic eruption in the Mediterranean Sea between Sicily and Tunisia pushed a new island up from the ocean floor. Within weeks, Britain, France, Spain, and the Kingdom of Sicily all sent ships and formally claimed the island. They planted flags, they named it, they argued over it diplomatically. 4 months later, the island sank back into the ocean. The territorial dispute became irrelevant overnight. Sandy Island finally being exposed in 2012 raised a question that nobody in any government or technology company wanted to answer. Google Earth launched in 2005 for 7 straight years. Millions of people, including professional geographers, government officials, military analysts, and climate scientists, used Google Earth every single day, and not one person noticed a fake Manhattan-sized island sitting in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Why? Because we trust maps. Since childhood, we are taught that maps represent reality. Maps are in classrooms, maps are in textbooks, maps are official, maps are fact. But they don't know one thing: maps are built by humans, maintained by humans, copied by humans, and humans make mistakes. Sandy Island existed for over 130 years. On every map, in every database, in the time atlas reference in scientific papers used for navigation, and it was completely, totally, utterly fake. Yes, this video is just saying that this island is fake. We live in an age where we believe we have mapped every inch of this planet, where we think satellites have photographed every corner of the globe, where we assume that if something is in a database, it has been verified. Sandy Island is a proof that we are still in the digital age, blindly copying mistakes made by a sailor on a wooden ship in 1876. So the next time someone shows you a map or a chart or a database or any piece of official information, just say fuck you. Sorry, pardon my English. Just say, ask yourself one question: who verified this? Who are they copying from? Because sometimes the island isn't there, something isn't there, just fake. If this is made, if this made you question everything you thought you knew about the world, you're not alone. So subscribe, because next time we are going even deeper into the things they never taught you. Those things, those are real or fake. You will decide. Sources: University of Sydney, Dr. Maria Seaton's official report, nature.com, The Guardian, just everything. So the video is ending. Pardon my English. English is not my first language. I know there's many flaws in editing, in script, and also my voice, but this is just a beginning. You will get everything you want.